Good morning, YouTube and DR Academy. I've had some really great feedback on these videos, so I appreciate that. I'm glad they're helpful. It's also helpful for me to put them together and go back to the information. It just sort of cements everything in my mind, and it gives me more repetitions with it. So this one is going to be sort of based on what I did yesterday as far as calculating true and false data, to sort of be able to remain flexible, and profit regardless of which way price goes. So what I'm really excited about is it's you can kind of consider this as every false day is basically a reverse retirement setup. So I know we all want to get the retirement set up. We want to see it come down, confirm, and then go all the way back up to the top of the range and turn around right at the upper, DR, or lower, depending on which way it confirmed. And then we get a nice trade, to come back down the whole range. But if you think about it, on a false day, you're basically looking at the same opportunity for that full range trade. Once you can recognize, the sooner you can recognize it's a false day, that false day is going to turn around and go back all the way back up or down. So that can be a pretty substantial amount of points. So we definitely want to be aware of that and keep that in our mind, be looking for that. So I've already marked up the chart a little bit. For those of you that have DR Lens, you know where I'm getting this information. If you don't have DR Lens, it's a subscription database basically provided by the master along with the DR IDR indicator. And since it is a subscription-based product, I was asked not to share it so much in the live videos just because of the way, competition will come eventually, so I don't blame him for wanting to limit that. So I've just taken a couple of screenshots out of the DR Lens to kind of back up what I'm using as far as the data. Those of you that have it, you can plug the information in yourself and verify that what I'm pulling up is exactly what DR Lens says. So this is for an ODR session on Thursday. So I've got true and false data in here. So this is my false target right here, 435 and 0.8 approximately. So here's your cluster for the false max extension. And you see it's between 0.6 and 0.8. So that's kind of what I have here as my false target. The true target, the true target shows the median at 1.9, but if I was marking this up, I would probably use this as the low-hanging fruit. And I've been talking about that as far as, the median is sort of the middle of the entire range, but what you look for is where the most occurrences probably are. And the lower the number, the more likely it is to be hit. So for me, if I hit a 0.8 easily, that's better than stressing out, hoping it goes all the way down to the 1.9. So I'll take the take the 0.8. At least as an initial target to take profit, and then leave runners or whatever if you really believe it's going to go down to the 1.9, and often it does. But like I said, just for highest probability and best chances for success, I take the one that's a little lower. So I'm going to back it up. You can already see where we're at, but we'll go over what the thinking would be as as prices plan out. So okay, so we're watching. So our false target gets hit right here, and that's not to say that it's not guaranteed false yet. Here it could very easily still go back up and still hit your true target, but you want to have this in mind, knowing ahead of time that you're looking at a potential false day and a high probability of it. Sort of helps you get your thinking in line ahead of time to be prepared to look to take that other trade, that reverse retirement, if it presents itself. So we watch it continue, consolidating. So what's interesting here is that on a false day also, the max retracement is I believe 0.2. So I'm looking at the false day, short, confirmation between 4 and 4:30. So here was our confirmation right here at 4:25. So I plugged in confirmation time 4 to 4:30, and the max median retracement is it's 2.0, and 1.9 for the false days, which that's what we would expect if it's going all the way back to the range. And the median retracement before high of session, low of session is 0.1. So kind of in that range. This is still false day data that I'm looking at. So we let it play out a little bit more. All right, so true day target definitely not hit. False day target was hit. So in my mind right now, I'm thinking false day reverse retirement. So what I'm going to be looking for probably for an entry is if I get a good close above the IDR, I'd probably take that and put my stop loss just below the DR. I know in this instance it's not going to do that, but I'll show you what the plan B would be. So at this point, we're still looking at max retracement as a false day. Even though this came back down, the max still lined up more with the false day than it did with the true day. So still, it just reinforces, you know, even though it came a little bit closer, it still reinforces the idea that it's a false day because it didn't come down lower than what the max retracement was for a false day. So we're playing it forward. Big spike right there. So right about here, that was a huge jump right there. That you know tells me that's probably going the other way. I would have liked to have caught it a little lower. And you know, as the candles move in real time, they move a lot slower than what they do in replay. So we probably could have caught this with a better entry. But let's say you know we pulled it from right here. I'd look to get in long right here, and call it something like this. Targeting the somewhere in the between the 0.5 and the 1.0. On this one, the max retracement was 2.0 and 1.9 after the 0.5 standard deviation was hit. So either way, up into this area for sure should be the minimum. And then as usual, just a few ticks below IDR middle for me. Probably use this as my low right here, go one tick below that. So yeah, right there. So I'm risking a 1.5, looking for 7 points, over a 4.5 risk reward ratio. So that's definitely a win if I get it. So we play that out. Oh yeah. Okay, so. And I knew ahead of time, you know, that it went this high, but being realistic, if I was just looking at the data, you know, with no, you know, with no ability to see what's actually going to happen, this would have been my low-hanging fruit target. I would have started right here. Depending on if I'm able to sit here and watch it, you know, then from there you can always, you know, ride it up, get as much as you can. But just a safe bet would have been, you know, this trade right here, and 7 points, you know, that's money. I mean, you can't beat that. So anyway, I hope that's helpful. I just kind of came across that today in my thinking that, you know, every false day is a reverse retirement setup. So it kind of doubles our chances for that big move. You know I'm always hopeful for the retirement setup, but even if it's not going to play out true and you get a false day, you still get that opportunity for the big move the other way. So anyway, keep that in mind, and look for good things. All right, have a great day. Thanks.